found this article talking about how we as a society respond differently to physical and emotional pain. So, and that honestly seemed kind of common sense to me, but at the same time, it seemed like why is it like that? Because the pain of a heartbreak hurts just as bad as me spraining my ankle. But if I sprain my ankle, you would help me walk. But if I had a heartbreak, you would expect me to walk on my own. And if I were to say I can't walk, I would just be overreacting. So the article had an example of a man who had a class, and he didn't want to go to the class because he had a heart, like his girlfriend broke up with him or something like that. So he went to class, was really sad, and was hoping to see his friend, but his friend wasn't there, and he found out that his friend had broke his leg, and he was wondering why that his friend got to leave class for a broken leg. And when he went to ask, can he leave class because of his heart pain, I guess, why was he not allowed to leave class then? He goes on to say that he was chastised by the instructor for being actually making excuses. And I mean, this seems like a reasonable thing, but it actually makes sense on why we do it. Because the sympathy you show somebody is very limited. You can't get betrayed, several times and then still feel like you can trust the world. So like the trust factor in it is not just a renewable resource that we can always go to. It's a very limited source and it builds up over time. We can't just extend that privilege to everybody. So we have to, in a way, save it for the things that look more eminently dangerous right now. So the first level is I can't trust everyone. Not everyone deserves sympathy, emotional pain. Because are we admitting that emotional pain is weaker or stronger than physical pain? But then that would vary on what emotional situation, how many things have you been through before, what are you used to, like all these different factors that would have to translate. But we don't take the time to translate all of them. We usually go by the assumption of what we're feeling in the second or what we know to be true in our lives. So we apply like a standard. So we apply just boom. So someone with a heartbreak who just got one 2 months ago might have more sympathy than someone who's never had one. So like it just varies by person. Physical pain is somewhat measurable because we trust our eyes. We see something, we know it's there. That's why like you see Braille and you see how a blind person will navigate Braille in order to read. It's kind of amazing if you just like watch a YouTube video looking at it, because like you can't imagine a world not being able to see, or even trying to balance on one leg. If you balance with your eyes closed, it's a lot harder. And it's because we trust, a lot of the things that stabilize us, both emotionally and physically, are, our vision, our eyes. This response, though, isn't very consistent with the result of you can't trust everyone. Because if you can't trust everyone, and then everyone is trustworthy in their pain, then those ideas don't connect. So me trying to explain to you that I'm sad, but you not believing that my sadness could be true and is that hard. Like you're not assessing it by the size that I'm assessing it by. I'm finding myself having to prove my problem to you, which in a way defeats the whole purpose of you taking the time to hear me out or to sympathize, because we want a perfect reaction. But at the same time, it's kind of impossible to regurgitate a perfect reaction for someone's pain, because you yourself have to be in tune with them completely to understand what they're saying. But at the same time, you are expressing the power to signify who deserves your sympathy and who deserves your time and effort and all that stuff. Like you have that, responsibility. But at the same time, there's no real criteria to choosing who you deem, worthy to hear their problems out.